Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellie Starm and I'm going to do another book review today, and I'm so excited to share this with you because I actually really enjoyed this book. So if you're new here, make sure you sub. I do things like this sometimes. Mostly I just talk about gay shit. But yeah, make sure you hit that sub button and let's just jump right into the video. So today we're going to talk about The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. It sounds like a fake name. I love it. So this book is about a 16-year-old girl who's living with her mom and her dad and her brother in New York City, and basically shit starts to hit the fan, so she gets kind of like shipped off to go stay with her uncle in a small town in Maine called Lyric. While she's there, she decides that she's gonna embark on this little adventure to figure out more about the history of her family and the history of Lyric itself with a small group of friends that she's made since she started living there. I'm really bad at little blurbs, so if you want to read more about that, you can. I'm gonna jump right into the fast fact. So my first fast fact is like, this cover is fucking beautiful. I love it. I stare at it so much. I've finished the book and I still stare at it a lot. Like, it's so good. Do you see like the little green against the blue, and then you have this? It's like the colors are so good. Amazing. It's delicious. I love it. My second fast fact is that this book is not about pirates, and I don't know why I thought it was. I've read a lot of different like blurbs and like little like synopsises of this book from different people, and for some reason I came away with the idea that this was gonna be about pirates. So when I cracked it open and it wasn't, I was like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, not pirates. This book also comes in at 391 pages, so it's not super short, it's not super long, it's kind of right in the middle. I love it. It took me less than a day to finish it, but that was because I was so in love with it. Usually I don't finish books that quickly, but I did finish it in less than one day. Also, the book has some lovely heft. Like, I don't know if you guys like understand, but like the heft of this book, I really like it. It's nice in my hand. It fits well. It's nice to hold and read. I don't know. Maybe that's a weird fact. So the book is told from the perspective of a female who belongs to either the bisexual community or the pansexual community. However, the character herself doesn't really like labels, so it's never really like explicitly talked about. Number 6. There are a total of 3 different LGBT plus characters, and each of them have kind of a different story, so there is some good representation in there as well. Although either it wasn't mentioned or I don't remember, I don't think that there's a lot of like gender identity stuff happening. Along with that, there are coming out story like themes, but this is not a coming out story in disguise. The plot was so well developed, but I guess that's also like my opinion, so maybe that should be in the opinion part and not the fast fact part. My 9th fast fact is that it's very well written, very well edited. Her writing style is just beautiful. I think they caught like maybe 2 little like spelling errors or grammar errors or whatever, but honestly, like, it wasn't a big deal. It didn't slow me down and I wasn't like, what's going on here? No, it was just like a letter, I think, that was wrong. My 10th fast fact is that I could only purchase it in a hardcover from Amazon. I don't know what's going on there, or if this is like a new release. I actually don't know anything about the book, really. I mean, I read it, but like, I don't know anything about the like publishing of the book. All I know is that I could only purchase it hardcover, and I almost didn't get it because of that, because I don't typically like hardcovers, but now I'm really glad that I did, because like I had mentioned before, it has that heft, and I think it's kind of because of the hardcover thing, and I don't know, maybe I'll start buying hardcover books all the time now. And then we do have some trigger warnings, so I'm gonna include that as my last fast fact. There's suicide, death, mental health issues, panic attack, and some like attempted sexual assault kind of stuff happening there. And so lastly, here we're gonna jump into my opinion on the book, which, as you probably already know by the way I'm like bouncing in my seat, it's great, but there will be some spoilers in this, but I'm gonna try to keep it as like vague as possible so you can still read it and figure out what's going on for yourself. However, if you don't want to know anything about the book, you should click out now and go read it for yourself. We're gonna start with what worked for me first, and then we're gonna make our way into what didn't work for me towards the end. So like I had mentioned, this is my favorite book. Like, it took the title, it knocked whatever was there before. It took the title of being my favorite woman-loving woman book. I will recommend it to everybody. I've already recommended it to so many different friends. My girlfriend's already reading it. I've already recommended it to a friend from college. Like, I'm going for it because I love this book. The writing was so beautiful that it actually gave me really bad writer's block. Like, I read it and I was like, I literally was sitting there and I was like, what am I doing with my life? I'm not a writer. This woman, this Julia Drake woman, this is a writer. I'm not a writer. I don't know what I do, but she writes. I fucking sit there at a computer and type nonsense. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Along with that, I love the plot. There wasn't one second where I was like, what is this book about? Like, I don't understand why I'm reading this. I came in with the idea that it was gonna be about pirates, and so when I found out that it wasn't gonna be about pirates, I was like, oh, this is gonna be super boring. But it actually ended up being so interesting and engaging, and I really enjoyed that. I really think it had a lot to do with the characters. The characters were like really beautifully written. The connections that they had was really great. It really made me crave the friendship that a lot of them had together, and it really made me want to go on an adventure like they did. It made me miss hiking and the beach. It just, I don't know, like, I had so many feelings. The book gave me so many feelings, and I think that's ultimately why I loved it, because like the actual plot itself is like it's just a plot, you know? Like she goes on an adventure, like it's cool, it's great, but it was really the characters for me that did it. And also it didn't violate any of my like lesbian pop culture triggers. It's not a coming out story in disguise. There are no toxic like women loving women relationships that are just there to please straight people. I am looking at you, happiest season, right at you. And there's no leaving your lesbian life behind to go fall for a man, which of course I think that's the biggest trigger for everybody. Here are some things that didn't work for me as well. I didn't really like the main character very much, which I understood in the beginning, because you kind of have to not like a main character in order for the character arc to take place and for you to like, you know, see them grow and then like them by the end. But I didn't really like her by the end either. There's something about the whole like spoiled brat thing going on for me that I just really couldn't get past. That's not to say that she didn't have character growth at all. She had really great character growth. She had a great arc. It was just like a personal thing that I couldn't really get past, and that's on me. But like I had mentioned, there are some really great characters in the book, so it didn't really matter that I didn't like the main character that much because I could read it for the other characters as well. And then this is the one that like really bothered me. There were a couple of different times when I was like, I kind of want to put this book down. I'm a little frustrated because of this one point that I'm going to talk about right now. I do not like it when there's weird love triangles in women loving women fiction that have men involved. I understand that that's probably a very like real life thing that happens, especially like if you're bisexual or pansexual. Tell me that you haven't, like as a lesbian or as a woman who loves women, you haven't fallen for someone and had that person also fall for a dude, and like you guys have such a strong connection, but that person's just like, well, but he has a penis. I hate that. I hate that. So when it's in books, it really triggers me. But maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just a trigger for me, but that is definitely something that I had talked to my girlfriend about too, and she was like, no, I hate that. And in this situation, it's not even like a love triangle. It's like a big ass love square. I don't know. It didn't sit well with me. I did not enjoy that part. But yeah, that's all I have for you for this video. So feel free to check out the book if you want. I can link it down below. I don't get any money or anything from that. I just really like this book. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow me on Wattpad, follow me on Instagram, whatever you want to do, okay? And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.